Module 2, Digital Drawing Techniques. Sketching and Ideation. Sketching and ideation are crucial stages in the creative process of developing new ideas and designs. Here's an overview of these concepts. 1. Sketching. Sketching involves creating rough, preliminary drawings of ideas, concepts, or designs. Sketches can be done quickly and informally, and are often used as a way to explore multiple ideas and variations. Sketches can be done using a variety of tools, including pencils, pens, markers, and digital tablets. 2. Ideation. Ideation is the process of generating and developing new ideas and concepts. It involves brainstorming, researching, and testing different ideas to find the best solution to a problem or challenge. Ideation can be done alone or in a group, and can involve a range of methods such as mind mapping, brainstorming, and prototyping. Sketching and ideation often go hand in hand, as sketching can be a way to visually explore and develop ideas generated during the ideation process. Some tips for effective sketching and ideation include: embrace ambiguity. In the early stages of ideation and sketching, it's important to allow for a degree of ambiguity and uncertainty. Don't be too quick to judge or dismiss ideas, and allow for exploration and experimentation. Be open to feedback. Sharing your sketches and ideas with others can be a helpful way to get feedback and suggestions for improvement. Be open to constructive criticism and use it to refine your ideas. Use a variety of tools. Experiment with different sketching tools and techniques to find what works best for you. Some people prefer traditional tools like pencils and paper, while others prefer digital tablets and styluses. Iterate and refine. The ideation and sketching process is iterative, meaning that it involves multiple rounds of experimentation, feedback, and refinement. Don't be afraid to go back and revise your sketches and ideas based on new insights or feedback. Creating line art and outlines. Creating line art and outlines is an essential part of many types of digital art, including illustration, comics, and graphic design. Here are some tips for creating effective line art and outlines. 1. Choose the right tools. The tools you use to create line art and outlines will depend on your personal preferences and the type of art you're creating. Some common tools include digital brushes, pens, and pencils. If you're working with traditional media, you may prefer ink pens or markers. 2. Start with rough sketches. Before creating your final line art or outline, it can be helpful to start with rough sketches to plan out the composition and overall design. This can help you to refine your ideas and create a solid foundation for your final artwork. 3. Use reference images. Reference images can be a helpful tool when creating line art and outlines, particularly for more realistic or detailed artwork. Look for reference images that show the shapes, forms, and details you're trying to capture. 4. Experiment with line weight. Line weight refers to the thickness or thinness of your lines. Experimenting with different line weights can help you create depth and dimension in your artwork, and can help to distinguish between different elements of the composition. 5. Keep it simple. When creating line art and outlines, it's important to keep the design simple and focused. Avoid adding too many unnecessary details or lines, which can make the artwork feel cluttered or confusing. 6. Practice and refine. Creating effective line art and outlines takes practice and experimentation. Don't be afraid to try new techniques and methods, and be willing to revise and refine your work as you go. With time and practice, you can develop your skills and create stunning, effective line art and outlines. Using layers and masks. Using layers and masks is an important part of digital art and graphic design. Layers allow you to separate different elements of your artwork, making it easier to edit and adjust individual components without affecting the rest of the image. Masks allow you to selectively hide or reveal parts of a layer, giving you more control over the final appearance of your artwork. Here are some tips for using layers and masks effectively. 1. Organize your layers. As you create different elements of your artwork, it's important to keep them organized into separate layers. This will make it easier to edit and adjust individual components as needed. Consider naming your layers based on the content they contain to keep things organized. 2. Use adjustment layers. Adjustment layers allow you to make changes to the overall appearance of your artwork without affecting the underlying layers. This can include changes to color, contrast, saturation, and more. Using adjustment layers can help you fine-tune the appearance of your artwork and make global changes easily. 3. Create layer masks. Layer masks allow you to selectively hide or reveal parts of a layer, creating a more seamless appearance. You can create layer masks by adding a mask to a layer and using black or white paint to selectively hide or reveal parts of the layer. 4. Use clipping masks. Clipping masks allow you to apply a layer mask to a specific layer, rather than the entire image. This can be useful for creating effects like text that appears to be cut out of an image. 5. Experiment with blending modes. Blending modes allow you to control how different layers interact with one another. This can include effects like blending layers together to create a new color or texture. Experimenting with blending modes can help you create unique effects and fine-tune the appearance of your artwork. 6. Save your layers. Saving your artwork as a layered file, such as a PSD or AI file, will allow you to edit and adjust your artwork later on. This can be particularly useful if you need to make changes or adjustments down the road. Applying shading and texture. Applying shading and texture is an important step in creating a realistic and detailed artwork. Here are some tips for applying shading and texture to your digital artwork. 1. Understand light and shadow. Before you can effectively apply shading to your artwork, it's important to understand how light and shadow interact. Consider the direction of the light source in your artwork and how it affects the objects in your scene. This will help you determine where shadows should fall and where highlights should be. 2. Use multiple layers. Shading and texture can be applied on multiple layers, separate from the line art or base color layers. This helps to keep the different elements of the artwork separate and makes it easier to adjust and fine-tune the shading and texture as needed. 3. Experiment with different brushes. There are many different brushes available in digital art software, each with their own unique textures and qualities. Experiment with different brushes to find the ones that work best for the effect you want to achieve. 4. Use layer masks to control opacity. Using layer masks allows you to selectively adjust the opacity of different elements of your artwork. This can be useful for adding shading or texture to specific areas without affecting the entire layer. 5. Blend colors. Use blending modes and blending tools to blend colors and create smooth transitions between shades. You can also use color picking tools to choose the right shade of color for the area you are shading. 6. Consider texture. Texture can add depth and interest to your artwork. Use brushes with textures or apply texture overlays to give your artwork a more realistic or stylized feel. 7. Study references. Look at real-life references or images of artwork that you admire to get a better understanding of how shading and texture can be applied effectively. This will help you to improve your own techniques and create more polished artwork.
Thanks for watching. For more information, like, comment, and subscribe our channel.